What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. Of course, this is TWA Motorsports, and today, guys, we're going to do a little bit of updating. We're going to talk about why is the trailer hooked up. We're going to talk about why is the 55 frame on there. We're going to talk about what sold. A lot of stuff going on here. So anyway, let's get started with why is the frame on the trailer. Well, it's not because I was going to get the frame, right? The trailer is on because I was actually looking for another truck, and actually now Kohen's here to help me unload this thing. But the frame, guys, I just got it back from my painter. He fixed all the little dimples from people jacking it up over the years. We closed this out. I'm going to try to list this in the description. They don't have an online website, really. I mean, you can look at their stuff online, but you can't buy it. He closed these out, which looks a lot nicer. There's a new panel on the bottom side to help make that look a little better and reinforce on the bottom side where people have jacked over the years. And he flattened all the areas out that I needed flattened out. So guys, it looks a lot better. And so, but that is not why the frame is on the trailer. The trailer is actually out here because I went to buy another vehicle. But me and Kohen are going to unload this real quick, and then we will get into what I went to buy and kind of what happened. Got that thing unloaded, guys, thanks to Kohen's help. And anyway, so why do we have the trailer hooked up? Like I said, we went to get another truck. And guys, sorry, my neighbor is sawing down a tree. You're going to be hearing that in the background. But like, okay, why would we go get another truck, right? What is, and why did you need a trailer to haul it? Is it another turd? Is it another project? Well, no, guys. So a while back, a couple videos back, I told you guys that we needed to sell two, right? So I listed the Kohens NNBS, the two-tone Sierra, the Suburban. All three of those things sold almost like all within a week of each other. They all sold, so they are all three gone. And so just like any other time, I'm always looking, right? And I thought I found something, which, so I hooked the trailer up. I drove 3.5 hours only to drive 3.5 hours home without it. So what was it? Well, guys, I've been kind of wanting an extended cab. I found one that the guy said had no rust, and it did not have, well, we'll get to that. But I didn't buy it, and we'll talk about why. But yeah, so I wanted another truck for Kohen to daily drive. Right now he is driving the green Sierra. Guys, that thing needs to be driven. I don't drive it that often. I did drive it last week to work though. So he's driving it, and guys, I'm sure people are like, you're gonna let him drive that truck? Well, yeah, absolutely. I trust Kohen in just about everything we have, actually in everything we have. He's a really good driver, pays attention, and so has given me no reason not to let him drive stuff that I think is nice or whatever. So yeah, he's daily driving that right now. Now of an evening, I really, because it's deer season, I don't want him driving it, so he's been like using my wife's Yukon. If it rains, guys, it hasn't rained in a couple, well, probably about a week or so. He'll probably drive this guy, even though it's ugly with that single wheel and the dually bed. But hey, look, if it's just into school or to work or something, he can drive this. I don't know if you guys noticed, but when he pulled up, he's in my dad's truck because he needed something to pull the lawnmower. We do not have a hitch on this thing yet, and I was using my truck, obviously. So that is why he was in that. My dad doesn't have any problem with him driving his vehicles either. But anyway, so what did we find and why didn't we bring it home? Well, and then we're going to get into what I look for when I'm buying these trucks, because I get a lot of people that say, how do you find these? Where are you getting these trucks? All right, so first of all, what we found was a NBS, a 2006 Cateye Shorty. Now, when I say Shorty, it is an extended cab truck with a crew cab bed on it. They only made them in 05, 06, and 07, and actually in 07, they made them in both the body styles. So you could get the NNBS or the newer body style, or you could get the classic style. And my uncle actually has one. Maybe one of these days we'll run down there and take a peek at it. But yeah, I thought I'd found one. It was white. It looked like it was in good shape. I said, does it have any rust? He said, no. I said, send me pictures. You're 3.5 hours away. I don't want to drive that far. So he sent me videos, pictures. Guys, it looked great, and no rust, or at least I didn't think it had rust. So I hooked the trailer up. It was just me. I didn't have, Kohen couldn't go. My wife couldn't go. So we hooked up the trailer and headed that way, or I say I hooked up the trailer and headed that way. Get up there, the guy pulls in, and I'm going to use this truck to talk about what I saw that was wrong with it, because they're very similar builds. But all right, so when he pulls up, the fender gap is the first thing I saw on the truck. So the fender gap on this truck I went to look at, you could put your whole hand through up here and you could barely slide a piece of paper in the bottom. So that immediately triggers me to, okay, where's it been hit and what is all the damage? He pops the hood. The hinge on the passenger side, so the passenger side hood hinge, is completely mangled. The hood fits like crap, the fender fits like crap. The gap over here is really tight. It's not like this factory style gap. Okay, so that was the first one. And I said, well, how long you had this truck? He said about 7 months. So I don't think he maliciously didn't, I just truly didn't think he knew. But we kept looking. This entire side had been painted. I opened the door. The hinge up here is also screwed up. The firewall area where the fender mounts up here, all the bracketry is bent and screwed up, guys. It was hit pretty hard. Then I open the door and all of the hinges are bent up and terrible. I don't even know, I gotta believe it whistled going down the road because of the gaps and whatnot. But those were like, I'm probably not gonna buy it. I'm like 99% out at this point. Then I look down and the frame right behind the A-arm is kinked. And it's like, okay, we're done here. Doesn't even matter if it has rust at this point. I'm out. But it didn't have any rust, but the whole side had been painted. So you never know what they filled it with and how it got painted. So we passed, and it sucks because, guys, that's 7 hours out of my life. 3.5 there, 3.5 out to not buy a truck, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Unfortunately, here lately, it seems like the further I go, the more disappointed I am. I'd rather find something local. But okay, so what do I look for when I'm looking for a truck? Because a lot of people ask that. How are you finding these trucks? Well, guys, Facebook Marketplace is where I find everything. Craigslist is dead. The days of driving down the road and seeing one at your neighbor's house for sale, those, I mean, for this style truck, they're almost gone. And in my area, we do salt the roads. We get winter, we get snow, we get ice. So a lot of, they're rusty. And so that is the main thing I look for when I'm looking at one of these trucks. How much rust does it have on it? Now, I would rather it have 0. Okay, now you guys have seen that I've bought a couple trucks that had a few spots of rust. And is it a deal killer? Not necessarily, but it's gonna have to be dirt cheap if I'm gonna buy one with any kind of rust on it, because you're always chasing that, guys. The rockers on these trucks, to replace them the correct way, you need to replace front to back. I don't want something in the body shop, so I'd rather just buy one without that problem. Now, on the extended cab that we just had, the two-tone truck, you know when they've been in a hot environment, because a lot of times the roof and the hood bakes off. So that's a good sign, actually, because a lot of those trucks don't have rust because they were in a hot environment. Now the downside is the hood and the roof need to be painted, but I'm okay with that because that's not as bad as rust repair. So that's the first thing I'm looking for, is no rust. I don't care if it has 400,000 miles on it. These trucks are tough. I would rather something roll up, knocking, or have missing 2 gears than it to have rust on it. So I am generally 100% out if it comes to rust. So moving on to what the next thing I look at, guys, I don't know what the craze is with putting sunroofs in these trucks, but it's stupid. And so if you guys like sunroofs, I'm sorry, I don't care. I'm giving you my honest opinion. If one has a sunroof, I am 100% out. It could be the cleanest truck in the world. If it's got a sunroof in it, I'm out 100%, because I don't trust the work that a lot of these people do to them. So I'm not gonna buy a truck with a sunroof. I think it's dumb anyway. It doesn't fit the truck. And so yeah, that's my opinion. Take it or leave it. Sorry if I insulted somebody. So I'm out on sunroofs. Okay, the next thing is, what's the interior look like? Is it completely trashed? Is every piece of plastic broken on it? I really don't want one of those. I'm really looking for, a lot of times, a higher mileage one for pricing reasons, because I know that they'll run, and I know it's easy to replace little things like if it has a small oil leak or what have you. So that's the main things that I look for. No rust, no sunroofs. I don't want ones that are jacked up in the front and lowered in the back. I'd rather have one that's not lowered, because they generally don't use the stuff that I want to use and I trust. A lot of people do stuff on the cheap, and so I don't like to find them lowered. I'd rather have one unmodified. So if it says it's got a stage 25 cam from somewhere on the internet, I'm generally out, because they'll probably run like crap, and who knows what parts they used, what did they replace when they were in there. I've seen local guys put a huge cam in and put stock springs. You guys, you just don't ever know with people, and so I don't trust it. I'd rather have a stock one. I really would. Now, headers or a cold air intake or something like that, I don't care about that stuff. But as far as like going into the motor, I'm out. I don't want any of that stuff unless I know the guy who did it, or it's a, you know, a reputable shop. So those are the main things that I look for. Guys, look, it's tough to find one of these trucks that's not rusty now, unless you go south. And then that becomes my next problem is you drive, you know, from Missouri where I'm at to like Texas, let's say, you're talking like 7 to 8 to 10 hours if you go down to Houston. And there's a lot of good stuff down there for decent prices. But if I get, you know, you get in the truck and drive that far and then it sucks, then what? You've wasted 10 hours down, 10 hours back. So I'm still looking, right? So ultimately, here's what I would like to have. I would like to have a two-tone truck. I really would. I would prefer an 03 and up, 03 to 07 Classic. Just because I think the interiors hold up a little better. I like the window switches better. I like the climate control better. I like the double-din radio better. So there's just something about the 03 and up I like. Now, if I were looking and found a 99 to 02, I might potentially buy one of those if it was a pretty clean truck. I'm not 100% against those. I know I told you guys in the past, if my green truck, if I were to do it over, I would have bought an 03 and up, and I would have put my front end on it. So anyway, so guys, I know that this is just me yammering on, but I kind of wanted to talk to you about how I purchased vehicles, why the trailer was out, what all was going on. And so I think we covered all of that. If you guys have any questions about other stuff that I look for in a truck, let me know in the comments, because yeah, I'm always looking for them. Or if you know somebody that's got a clean two-tone truck, hit me up as well. Chances are by the time you guys see this video, I might have already found one. I found a couple, but they're quite a ways away and I'm not willing to drive that far yet. I'd like to find like 4 or 5 in a condensed area so I could go make sure and look and make sure they were all, or one of the 5 would be legit. To me, it makes more sense to go look at like 5 and maybe 1 be good than just look at 1 and then drive home empty-handed. But if you guys did enjoy this little update video, please go down there and smash that thumbs up button. If you are not subscribed, go down there, hit that subscribe button. Of course, while you're doing all that, ring that bell notification. That notifies you every single time we drop a new video. And stay tuned to see what we work on next.